Okay, I'm taking another look at Regeneron here to see how we would go about managing a winning trade. Now, I had another video where I saw the setup here and I got long right in here, okay, right at, I think it was 625 or 630. Now, it's obviously up, it's at 733. So I like this volume in here. Normally, I think my trading stats are when I get to a 14% gain, I got to take profits. And it's right up there. It's approaching that 14%-ish now. Maybe it already did yesterday. But you see, I'm going to, well, this is how I think about it. Once you got this 13% gain, I don't know, I actually put 15% of my trading account in this stock. And I'm doing this in real time to try and contemplate if I should take my partial gains like my trading system says I should, or if I should wait. My inclination is to wait and not take gains. And what my trading system says I don't get more really than 14%. But this one was good because it's got this nice, really, really nice base, and it's got this same structure. In my other video, I showed the monthly or the weekly charts. It's got the same kind of setup in all those longer term charts. This one's the daily. And it came out right in here. It came out right when the market had taken a 15% drawdown. So it's a much better setup than all the other times I had been trading my system for the past 2 years, because the market never really had a big drawdown like that to come out of. And my inclination is to wait for more than a 14-15% profit to start taking the profit and realizing it, because of those three charts, the daily, weekly, monthly, all lining up to this big resistance level about 700. It is on the bigger, longer term time frame charts. So all three of those charts lining up, and the fact that the market had a really good correction, a much bigger correction than the 3 to 5% that were happening since 2020. So that kind of a correction in the market makes for this breakout to be, I don't know, you want to call it more powerful or more meaningful or more significant. Because of that drawdown in the market, this one showed relative strength all throughout here. The market was going down, but this kind of just had a little sideways, okay, a little down angle, which is what you want to see. So for all those reasons, I'm gonna hold it. And then this volume right here just seals the deal. These big volumes up in here really make me think that this is just a normal kind of pullback. I'd expect some kind of, move down and then maybe a big one up, you know, something like that. So that's how I'm going to manage this for now. I hate to be wishy-washy and say, well, my plan is to not make a plan. But with this volume coming in down here on these good days, I mean, good green volume, I think that, yeah, my plan is to just let it ride for now. I do have certainly move my stop up to break even. So now the worst thing that can happen is I don't make any money, but I'm not losing any money. So that's certainly the only thing I'm going to do now. I'm not taking profits, and I'm not going to lose out on anything. And it's just going to put me in a better position to wait this out, see how this trade develops, because it does have those setups on a longer term time frame. Maybe, taking intermediate term profits is not the right thing to do because of that long term potential. And I'm going to be okay if I get stopped out at break even. That's the hard part, is really just accepting that you had a little bit of a gain and that you could give it back, but I'm not down anything. So that's where I'm working with as I move on next week. I will try and think, okay, should I move my stop up even more? Am I going to make it too tight? There's all that possibility that you got to work with day to day. But because this thing is acting so well with the volume and it keeps going up along here on this nice little uptrend, I'm more inclined to give it some room because, it could easily kind of get a little pullback before it gets some kind of move out. So I'm playing through all these scenarios in my head and then kind of thinking, how am I going to react? How am I going to be feeling if I do have this profit and I give it all back and get stopped out at break even? Those are the things that I'm going to have to think about next week as this trade progresses and develops. And really, I ought to also be thinking about getting into another trade because this one is working and I've got all that dry powder just sitting around. But that's also part of it is I do have so much dry powder that I can let this one. I got this as 15% of my account and everything else 85% in cash because I just haven't found anything that was this good of a setup. Now I wish I would have put 20 or 25% of my account in because this feels pretty easy. And these kind of trades don't come along that often for me where you just get a nice kind of clear breakout and then a nice it's pretty painless so far and it's kind of textbook. I love these little high all the high volume days are on green days and that's just in this last day right there too. I love that, and I don't see that a lot of the times, even with pretty decent breakouts. You'll get a lot of red, like this back here concerned me. A lot of the breakouts now kind of look like that with these big red volumes in there, like these three clusters are red, or what a lot of the trades used to be. So I'm gonna let it ride, and I'm gonna focus on where do I place my stop? How tight do I want to make this stop? And I don't know yet. Gonna have a day by day, right? So right now it's break even. Now, if the market starts getting dicey or something else happens next week where you get kind of a big move down, yeah, then what do you do in that scenario? What do I do? Will I be scared? Well, if we get a big gap down next week after Easter, I'm going to have to just be okay with a break even for next week. I'm not going to move my stop for a whole trading week. Okay, and next Friday, I'll reassess if I want to move my stop up even tighter or just let it be for another week. Now, if the stock goes up from here, then yeah, I'm going to have to move my stop up from right around here into maybe this, let's zoom in here, maybe this low right here could be a stop area. Maybe this low might be too tight. So somewhere, or I mean, this low would be way too tight. So maybe this little low or this low probably is a better idea. So 660. And that would guarantee me a 30-ish, $35 profit there on a $625 stock. So that's kind of what I will have to determine next week is where, maybe this high, maybe that high right there, this one, maybe that's, so look, this high right here coincides with this low. So that's right at 660. So that's what I'll do. I'll put my stop at break even for next week, and by next Friday, if nothing happens to price, I'm moving my stop up to 660 on half. I'll move my stop up on half at 660 and leave the other half at break even. And that is my plan that I just came to in real time right now. And that's how I'm going to do it.